44 lining up with that green light. And these niggas don't know what's going on. They don't even know this is a part of the plan. Like I said in the song Tidal Wave, it's all in the plan. Okay, if you ain't been in alignment with it, that's on you. You with me? So it be the process, okay, what people call concepts. But I didn't need weed to be creative. I don't smoke weed. And the shit they call it creative, I'm so grateful that I don't produce that. And they thinking that's some real shit. I don't produce that. Does the 144K have to be virgin? Revelation 14. Yes, Revelation 14. Verse 4. Okay, it speaks about they were pure. Okay, but they also said, and they also said they were redeemed from amongst men. Not saying they never fell. Not saying they never lost their way. Okay, they were redeemed. All right, they redeemed themselves. They deemed themselves members of Ra, the light. That's how they escaped the gravity of this plane. They had to all meet on that mountain. So you're 100% true. Yeah, that's right. Right? I used to hit the Hebrew Israelites with that. They could be outside screaming at the people. I remember being 13 years old. I was standing out there and look, 5 points, train station. Outside the train station, nigga be out there with the purple on, the fringes. It was some other niggas who wore blue. You know what I'm saying? Israelites united in Christ. You know what I mean? IU, IC, IU, ISP, all them other I niggas. Right? It was all together. Or sometimes they be on different sides. Niggas came with the Obama poster. The Obama poster with the horns. You know what I mean? And the black Jesus or melanin dominant Jesus. Okay, all the different lists of the tribes, all of that. So I used to see them niggas out there. And they be bashing the women. They be bashing the men passing by. You know what I mean? Just going off on people. And I be standing there and I wait because everybody else get to say shit. So I asked them a question. So I asked some niggas one time, they were bashing one of the sisters, calling her a Jezebel because she had on tights walking past. You know what I mean? Say, see, look at this Jezebel. And the sister kind of like, she looked back, like fucked up. But then they didn't see when she kept walking, like she had a kind of look of hurt on her face. And y'all know me from stories I done told you, at least, or you know about them. I don't like when people do that, especially bashing women. You know what I mean? So I stepped forth and I said, can I ask a question? They said, go ahead, brother. Right? And they stopped for a second. And I said, do any of y'all have children? And the one who was in the front said, yeah, I got a lot of beautiful children. He got children. Who got children? We all got children. Yeah, God has blessed us with many children. I said, so y'all aren't virgins? No, we not virgins. We got children. I said, can you give me Revelation 14:4? Right? Because they always tell me, give me right? And they'll call out the scripture. So I said, I talked to the scripture man. I said, can you give me Revelation 14:4? Right? And he was about to go to it. And a man who, I guess he probably be the captain, he was like, wait. He said, wait, hold on. He don't answer to you. Why are we giving you that? Tell us that. I said, well, it does. Okay, you don't have to give it to me. I know it. Revelation 14:4. And these are they which were not yet defiled, or had not been defiled with women, for they are the virgins. Right? I went into that. I said, but you just told me y'all have children. So if you have children, ain't no way you're virgins. So you're talking about all this, you're going to heaven, and God gonna put, you serve a terrible God, and he gonna put his foot on people's neck and all this other stuff. I'm like, God has a foot? That's a whole different conversation. You telling me God is a physical being? That's weird. But you tell me this omnipresent, super powerful God has a foot. That means this foot is physical in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Has some physicality if it can interact with a physical being. You know what I mean? So you have to step on their neck. But I was like, yeah, so if y'all got children, you're not virgins. They didn't like that. So they said, that's not what virgin means, brother. Virgin is to say, you know, they're not, you know what I mean, in the world. They didn't like that. But let's deal with what it says. It says you have to be virgins. So y'all got children. And I was fucking the niggas up like that. And they don't know I came up on books, 360 questions to ask a Hebrew Israelite, where I never have to debate these people. You know what I mean? We got your books. We got all this to know about you. You know what I mean? I read your books, Circle 7 Quran. You know what I mean? I read it in Hebrew Israelite, NOI doctrine, Hebrew Israelite doctrine, 5% of doctrine, Mohammedanist doctrine, Islamic doctrine, Seventh-day Adventist doctrine, Jehovah's Witness doctrine. Come on, bro. We grew up studying this shit. You with me? So we knew how that question was. They didn't have answers to these things. You with me? So yeah, they don't say twists in scripture. I get it. I understand that. But I was pointing out something to them because it wasn't just about what I'm saying. Wise person here, one word, overstand two. They didn't have to go into all that. It means pure. I don't need that. I'm asking you a question though. Are you virgins? Okay, you out here screaming at adults. All right? Okay, where are your children? What are they doing right now? Are they in public school? Where are your children? You know what I mean? Are you making sure that your children are not exposed to pornography? You know what I mean? Are you making sure that your children don't do what y'all did? I remember they were lined up outside at the BLM events down in Centennial Park after they got done screaming. I never intervened until they do all that self-righteous shit. And they lined up about face. You know what I mean? They was all in the line. And I'm walking up and down. I'm like, I call them niggas to attention. And I say, I don't see righteous. I don't see righteousness. I see hidden porn statues. I see high heels in closets. I see all kinds of stuff. I said, that's what I see. All right, y'all out here kicking it like y'all are righteous. Where are the women? You know what I mean? Y'all out here kicking it like y'all with the people, but y'all only show up to bash people. I said, who you think y'all are reaching when all y'all doing is bashing? And them niggas stood quiet because they ain't supposed to talk in the lineup. So they had to hear everything I was saying. You know what I mean? And I want a nigga to play. You with me? And nigga tried to act like he was finna approach and always called it approach and always called it issue because thought I was out there by myself. And niggas come out of nowhere. Niggas hopping out of trash cans. Listen, you think I'm by myself? Yeah, I'll be by myself and I'm approaching you, yeah. But please don't ever make a mistake to think that I don't have people circling the grounds. You know what I mean? And you don't know. You see the people over there, you see that group over there, you see that the certain type of attire they got on. And you see the other people over there, they got that certain type of attire. They not there randomly. You say, what's all these niggas doing out here? They don't even do the kind of shit. Exactly. What are they out there for? You know what I mean? So just putting you on notice about that. So they thought about myself. I almost went down. But I had to remind them niggas like, yo, y'all are out here kicking it like you righteous. I'm not making this up. You go listen. I didn't put the song out. I had a song called Wish, right? Wish. The song was Wish. I don't think I ever dropped it. But in the song, I said, they sent me here to defeat you niggas like the Hebrew Israelites united in Christ. Yeah, right, niggas self-righteous. I said, you ain't no saint just because you look and you smell like it. And I could tell by the way that you preach. My father, I said, I could tell by the way that you teach. My father sent me in love. We don't relate to the weakness and the hate that you preach. Right? And I went on, I wish I didn't have to fight alone. Right along, I'll be living this life. Until they kill me, I know they feel me. My head hang high and strong. So even when I'm feeling down, it's up. Nigga, my crown is stuck. Nigga, I can't bow. We trying to make up for the lost time. Wish I didn't know that we can't now. Gotta move forward in the truth, or we surely finna lose. I wish every reporter from the news could come and sit with a real woke pharaoh from the ATL, so I could tell my people that they on the way to hell. That's cold water. They won't take it well. Well, I ain't here for no. I ain't here for no. So I say that cold water, they won't take it well. Well, I said, yeah, but I ain't here for no therapy, nigga. Fuck your couch. I'm on my Dave Chappelle. I walk away and they'll call me crazy. I'm more concerned with all these babies growing up in the world where they trapped in the air. Our little girls being taught to hate the natural hair. I'm saying fuck all their products and they weave companies. We can leave all of these industries on their knees if we take away our dollars. The same way they take away our sons, mothers, and fathers and daughters for the slaughter. Shit, I wish I could party. Go to the hood. Roll me up a wood, act like everything good. You know what I'm saying? I was just breaking it all down. I said, but I can't. Because I know, because my ancestors already had their eye on this prize. I can't let my eyes off of it. My eye got to be locked on this shit. But I was saying, it ain't the disrespect the Hebrew Israelites as, you know what I mean, they way of life and they know their scripture and all this. I get that. They're real studious and there's no but that's coming after this. A lot of them are scholars. They don't play about it. They gonna correct you, nigga, your holler shot. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They gonna cut in. They know what they're doing. What I don't appreciate is how those people did not use that type of information to lead people to the light truthfully, okay, without bashing and trying to tear them down. You know what I mean? They didn't do that. They tried to trump. I was talking to some Hebrew Israelites on Clubhouse, who a lot of them were. I was talking to them on Clubhouse, and I said, so you mean to tell me you run into a Christian and they talking about they want to work, but because they're not a Hebrew Israelite, you're not going to work with them? He's like, give me something. I said, no, don't give me shit. They always going to give you a scripture. He said, I'm asking you a question about you, not... Give me what you would do. You wouldn't work with them. You wouldn't help them. You know what I mean? You wouldn't help their children. And the niggas told me no because they weren't Hebrew Israelites. I'm like, that don't make sense to me. You know what I mean? Because you don't know nothing about what you're talking about. All you know is you have a book that's telling you these things. So you wouldn't do the actual work to help people because they're not banging Hebrew Israelite. In my eyes, all that is gang banging. You know what I mean? That's all that is. You feel me? So I'm not rocking with that. So, but I ran into. It's been very few, but I have run into some of them who aren't like that. You with me? So I'm not saying it's everybody, but when you're dealing with a religion, most of them people be carbon copies of whoever the fuck they follow, and they all be like that. And it creates a hatred. It creates a racist complex. You know what I'm saying? Where a lot of people try to say, because Pops was dealing with the racist word, explaining it, saying, yo, we're for ourselves. All right? That don't mean we got to hate you. You know what I mean? But we're for ourselves. They forgot he also said, no one wins the race in racism. So you can be for self, but you're not going to win the race in racism. Another way he's saying it is you're not going to get far, all right, with a prejudiced spirit. Okay? So don't let anybody get it confused. There were times when he had to teach the truth about them Caucasians. It's just what it is. All right, but tell me Pops didn't let people on the land that were Caucasoid. Tell me Pops didn't have people. There's people out there now you'll be able to find, right? Where they standing, they're Caucasoids, but they were standing in front of Tom Ray's pillars, right? Taking pictures and shit in front of the images. Okay, they were Caucasian Nubians. I'm not making this up. Okay, there were Caucasoids who were Nubian. You said, yeah, Nubian mean Nubian. Them niggas still they found their way to be Nubians. And they respected Pop, they respected the teaching, they didn't get disrespected. And when he would talk about how the white man did this, that, and the third, they had to shut up and be quiet and listen. Because it was the truth. You with me? You're gonna tell me these people pillaged, raped, killed 400 million people, stole their land, stole their culture, wiped away their identity, made them come up under and worship their image and all of that stuff, and that's not the devil? Now, that doesn't mean when you run into Bill in the store, or Scott in the store, or Tom in the store, that it means when you meet that person, that's the devil. That's not what I'm saying. That's me personally. I've met Caucasoids, you know what I mean? And I know it might sound fucked up, because they say all black people ain't like that. I get it. It can still, this might sound fucked up. But I've met, you know, they help you. You know what I mean? They got a good heart. They care about family. They're family oriented. They want to make sure you got some money. You're being successful. You know what I mean? And I've met some of them, you look at them and say, I know this is a devil. Same thing with melanin dominant people. I met melanin dominant people where I looked at them and I said, damn, this is the devil. So it was about what they did. So that's why we called them that. So when I was talking about the Savages song from the Pocahontas movie, the Native Americans in that song was saying the pale face is a demon. You know, like, yo, the pale face is a demon. They were talking about how he didn't have no culture, he had none of that shit, and he would come in and take theirs. They saying it in the song. They called it the Native American savages, but meanwhile, you're loading up guns to invade their land. So you're going to help them by killing them. You with me? That don't make sense. That's the devil. So yeah, anybody with a good mind, and more Caucasoids are coming out and realizing that what they did was fucked up. Okay? As if they have those ancestors, because not every Caucasoid has ancestors who were slave owners. You know what I mean? Same way, not all melanin dominant people or Negroids are descendants of prisoners of war or slaves. Not all of y'all. Because there were free people. Where all that abolitionist shit come from? You forgot about that? It was niggas who were looking up and said, them niggas in chains? Hell no. And they started fighting to get them people out of chains. And there were melanin dominant and melanin recessive abolitionists. Here's another thing. They want to sweep under the rug because if they don't tell the truth about this, people will stay confused. There were melanin dominant slave owners. Okay? There were black people whipping black people. There were black people enslaving and capturing and raping the women of black people, siding right alongside the pale face. You know what I mean? This is stuff they try to sweep under the rug. Because you can build a whole narrative. Pro-black can thrive. All that bullshit can thrive. Because you keep trying to play black and white. You know what I mean? But let's deal with it for what it actually is. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to deal with it like that. But I'm telling you right now, all you gotta do is look around now. Look at all these tribes at war. You with me? Listen, no disrespect to the organizations and the nations. Listen, I respect the cloth. If you know, you know. If you don't, find out. All right? There was a reason niggas turned blood. There was a reason niggas went Crip. And there was a reason niggas went GD. Notice, most of them blood niggas is renegade niggas. They don't give a fuck about the law. I'm talking about law that they OG could be just saying some shit. They don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? When I had all them brothers, all right, all them brothers and sons outside with their badges, all right? Remember in the A-Twin song, I said, they make bandana them badges, okay? Trying to tell you something, you know what I mean? You got to pick up on this shit. When I had all the niggas outside, all the brothers and sons outside, they were tying their badges together. Only ones who gave me a problem was 3 renegade bloods. You know what I mean? Not every blood that was out there, not all dogs out there had an issue, but it was 3 niggas out there. All right, they done missed the whole fucking shit. They weren't even there for the first powwow. They weren't even there for the first link up. They weren't even there for that. Okay, when Pastor Troy, I had Pastor Troy come out. You'll see me standing there. If you ever find a news clip, it's me and Pastor Troy standing there. And they walked up to me and said, what is this? What is this statement that y'all are sending out with these bandanas tied together? I said, one nation. And I stepped back. That's all I said. I said, one nation, and stepped back. But it was a Caucasoid who was behind the camera. It was a Caucasoid during the interview. They both was looking confused. They said, damn, they used to, when the so-called gang members, all right, or the brothers and sons get together, you know what I mean? They about to be on some business. They business supposed to be about killing each other. They business supposed to be about robbing and stealing from each other. Or who can be the kingpins, or who gonna conquer who block, or who gonna run this, that operation. They don't expect you to work together. They don't expect you to build better communities and families, if you understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? They don't expect you to honor the creed and to uplift your brothers from the knees to the crown. They don't expect you to do that. And when they see a nigga doing that, that's order, that's principle, that's real business. That's a righteous cause. That's word law. That's some shit that been put out by the OGs or the original guys or guys. You know what I mean? But they saw the niggas doing that. They got the news cameras out there. Don't let these people fool you. One day I'm going to post it again. Okay, because I got all of it documented. No, if you don't know anything about me, you can call me Mr. Receipts. All right? If you want to know how to hi, I'm Mr. Receipts. What's your name? Nice to formally meet you. I got them receipts. I was right there in the front line, not from the back in no crowd saying, look at the brothers, everybody getting together. I said, we got Boss Dog and Loc out here. You know what I mean? I'm right here. The niggas out there, they had the pit bulls in the front, niggas out the fists in the air. When you see them images of them niggas with them fists in the air with them bandanas tied, remember them images? I think Summer Walker had posted. I did that.
Come on.
They don't want to tell you that. I was right there. I did that. The first niggas I ran into, all right, now I wish they would let me share images. Matter of fact, I got another phone. What am I doing? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I was out there when the niggas, first it was some of the Crip homies who was out there. Right? I said, yo, they're like, yo, Faze, what's going on? Da-da-da. What's the move, nigga? We out here. You said, get outside, we outside. I said, hey, I'm fucking with it. Go get some more of the brothers. Right? Go get some more of the brothers and the sisters, I told them. I said, go get some more of the brothers and sisters. Right? The niggas went to go get them. Some GD homies was out there. They were like, yo, what's going on? Da-da-da-da. I said, shit, here go. We about to link up. Da-da-da-da. I'm telling you what I'm doing. And y'all think I'm lying. Let me see if I can find it. If I can just find the shit. Okay? Actually, I just posted the image. I probably had it in black and white, though, so it ain't gonna really show. Let me see. Because, you know, take a million fucking... Okay, here it go. All right, I'm about to screenshot this shit so y'all can just see the image. Right? It take a million fucking years to go down the archive, so I can't show you every fucking thing that's there. All right, I'm going to have to post that on its own, or maybe do its own documentary. But look at this, if you can see it. Let me see if I can turn my brightness up. Right? Y'all see that? Look at this image. Okay? What you see? You see the crown right there. All right, you see the cherry right there, okay? And you see the moonshine right there. Meaning you see the black, you see the red, and the blue. And depending who you were, you know what I mean? If niggas was on certain things, when I told niggas to link up, some niggas be like, yo, it's all love. And they'll put the red, black and blue, okay? Or some niggas, I'm sure they put the black, blue and red, all right? Or some niggas, they put the blue and whatever the black and red or red or black. Okay, letting niggas know what motion was what. You know what I mean? But everybody was unified. So if you see me doing this, this is 2020, by the way. All right, let me show you the whole image. Okay? Because motherfuckers, I swear, they think it's some bullshit, but it's really like that. This me and all my blood brothers. Meaning biological. My mama pushed everybody out that you see on this screen. You know what I mean? Us together. The five of us together is enough to shut down anything we want to shut down. But all my brothers got brothers, and all my brothers got cousins, and all my brothers got niggas, and all my brothers got niggas, and all my brothers got niggas. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, when I say one phone call, y'all ever seen four brothers? Sometimes it's all it take. But when I say one phone call, that one phone call gonna evaporate and packet switch into 70 different calls. So when young elder be saying shit like, we can call it the cavalry. We can call it the cavalry, fam. We ain't playing about you. Young elder telling the truth, because I know about him. And so when we say that, it ain't no game. Like, bro, do these niggas look like they here to play? I'm telling you, that when you see niggas talking about some phase one, be sparing y'all. I'm not phase one. That's my damn brothers. Some of them niggas be my little... I watch them niggas play around in the sandbox. And I don't take it as no disrespect. Because they right. They right. When situations would go down, we used to have to show up and get busy about shit. You know what I mean? I stand back, let niggas get busy. Because I don't really spare niggas. You know what I'm saying? And them ain't the only niggas. I got brothers who ain't my biological brother, one call. Boom, hey, it's a situation. Not always on no bullshit. I'm not saying it like that. We can put together a whole demonstration. Y'all would have thought it was NAACP called that together. We can put that together right now. You know what I mean? But I don't do all that display shit. But we could do that. They can do a demonstration every day. We can get these demons straight. We can demonstrate. We can get these demons straight every day if I wanted to. You know what I mean? It's enough brothers that got respect. Okay, it ain't no disrespect. Because that mean I'm going to be calling on OGs. I ain't just going to call everybody, you know what I'm saying, little people. Or I don't like to even say that, but I'm not going to call all the young niggas or the little niggas, right? I'm going to hit the OGs up too and be like, yo, do we got permission to make this move? Da-da-da-da. That's what I was doing. Before I went outside, I hit up real OGs and was like, yo, I'm about to push this for the betters and communities and families, but I'm trying to see, like, what y'all think I should do? Should you think I should show this badge, right? Or you think I should just let motherfuckers wonder this, da-da-da-da. Them niggas said, you don't gotta do that. It's better for you to stay neutral. You know what I'm saying? It's better for the motherfucker to wonder. Do it like this. Your platform growing, push it like, I got all that documented. All right, only thing I won't do is tell you who the OG is. Yep. Okay, because I don't want no conflict in the business, and some of them, you know what I'm saying, it's cases, all kind of shit. You know, I won't do that. Okay, but I will tell you it's OG. You know what I mean? And a big one at that, not a little one. You with me? But I hit them niggas up. It was like, yo, and all you gotta do is do the math. I'm telling you shit without telling you shit. Okay, so when you see niggas, you know what I mean? I can't, well, yeah, okay, so y'all saw that image, right? Let's go back to it. Certain thing will be able to be said, certain thing you really, you know, it's just what it is. But, so you see this image. Okay, cool. There was nobody who had an issue with this movement. I brought all them niggas outside. So all, them 5 niggas you seen, that was only the niggas who was on the front line before the shit was pieced together. My brothers was with me. You know what I'm saying? Pastor Troy showed up. A lot of other niggas showed up. There was a brother named Greatness showed up. Okay? I didn't have all the numbers. So one call, somebody gonna have to make another call because, oh, I don't have that. I can't make that call. Oh, I got you. That's me. Boom. Okay, cool. Anybody you need to bust at me, them niggas got an issue with that, tell them bust at me. I bet. They make that call. Okay, hold on. Okay, we just got them. Everybody was on one accord except 3 Bloods. Them niggas came the next day. They didn't even know what the fuck was moving. And that was the only day I had went out there with that whole 3-day span. It was a 3-day span. I was by myself. I had got out there earlier. I was by myself. I had a megaphone. You know what I mean? And a lot of them was doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? These people scattered around. And the niggas walked up to me. Actually, it wasn't a megaphone day. It was another day. They came up to me and was like, what you got going on? I said, what you mean? They said, what you got going on? I said, you see what I got going on? Like, bro, y'all niggas supposed to know what this shit is already. We done already put all this shit through the wire. How you didn't get this call? That's renegade. Because sometimes they do get the call. They don't give a fuck. Right? So, again, this ain't no disrespect to the dog. Y'all know how this shit go. It's about them 3 niggas who they got on business. About some shit they had them business getting on business on. So, they were like, yo, but you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the third. Why you got on all these 3 bandanas? Da-da-da-da-da. We not. I said, bro, you missed this shit, nigga. I had everybody out here. Everybody had their shit tied. He said, well, we ain't them. And they were trying to oppress me. So I reminded them niggas. I think I ain't had like a big following, nothing like that. Okay, I think I might have had like maybe 17,000 followers around that time, something like that. But I think I had got on live when the niggas, they pushing up. Niggas showing me that they got a gun on them, all kind of shit. So I'm like, okay, shit finna go down. I'm at least have this shit on live. Boom. So I went on live and had shit pointed at my feet. Right? And I'm talking back and forth to these niggas. And they like, yeah, so niggas, they said niggas don't give a fuck about, you know what I'm saying, the police being out here. Niggas don't give a fuck about, they getting on business with a nigga. They oppressing me. If you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I'm gonna explain it. Right? So I asked them, I'm having a conversation. We ain't no yelling under that. Right? But there's 3 of them. So they kind of cornering me a little bit. Right? So I said, yo, so let me ask you a question. I said, you see that white lady over there? Hey, look. I said, you see that red bandana on her? Y'all can go take that off her too. I said, you see that white man over there with the red bandana over his face? Maybe it was the COVID. So everybody was covering their face with bandanas and shit. All right, for like the mask effect, right? And a lot of them had on bandanas because they didn't want people to know who and what they were. And they was starting a lot of the riots and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I said, you see that girl out there, the lady over there? Red bandana. You gonna take that off of her? You see this nigga, this white man over here? Red bandana. You gonna take that off of him? You know what I'm saying? And they were like, nah, bro, it ain't none of that. We just saying they don't got all of them together. I said, that makes no fucking sense. It would make more sense for you to approach the motherfucker who only got the shit on them. Like the one shit on them. It make more sense for you to approach them than it is to approach a nigga talking about unity and bringing everybody together. But no, you trying to oppress a brother because you think I'm weak. You know what I mean? You see me out here. You see how I'm articulated and standing up. Y'all niggas was observing. I see y'all niggas. Y'all been watching the whole shit. So you think I'm sweet. You know what I mean? You see me out here by myself. That's how niggas are doing. I said, but I thought y'all niggas was against oppression. You know what I mean? Where the brotherly love at? You know what I mean? How y'all gonna overcome y'all depression and try to depress or oppress me or suppress me? You know what I mean? And y'all ain't supposed to oppress anybody because you're supposed to be against oppression. I know your law. You know what I mean? And they still didn't give a fuck. I said, before I took it out, I said, and why did y'all niggas not ask me about this shit being blessed or not? All you see is a bandana, not a flag. You ain't even gonna ask me if it's double-sided, none of that. You ain't even doing it right. You ain't gonna ask me to fold it. You ain't gonna ask me none of this shit where we could have had a whole different conversation. So all you see is a red bandana on me. You know what I mean? And you gonna automatically jump to conclusions. And even still, you ain't who your peoples is. But they got on business. So out of my own sense and knowing how them renegade niggas get, I just let that shit go. I took the shit off and gave it to them. You know what I mean? That'd be the only time motherfuckers see me out there with the blue and the black bandana without the red one on. Come out here trying to go through it with them. I handle that on the back end. You know what I mean? Say, you know what I mean? We handle that on the back end and say, yo, they should know, but some people don't know. You know what I mean? Or some, again, they do know, but they don't have to give a fuck. That's what a renegade soldier does. They don't care. They don't give a fuck about what the general said, none of that. So what I can say is that was my only encounter with renegade soldiers when it came to BCF, or Better Communities and Families, right? Or building the communities and families. Okay, that's the only one encounter. Other than that, most brothers are on board with the shit. They know it's a righteous cause. They tired of the oppression. They tired of the war. A lot of brothers done lost their life. You know what I mean? That's why I said in the Fly High song, right? Where I said, from the young niggas to the OGs to the little straps, trying to bring it up. I said, time to bring it on home. I said, wrong is wrong, but it's been too long. Ceasefire, no more war zone. I said, the streets are dirty, the hoods is dirty, suburbs is dirty. If you did what I said, you did what I mean. It's time to call in a whole different type of cleanup team, flip the scene. I'm speaking the whole language. You don't even know what I'm talking about. Time to bring it on home. I said in the Letter to 21 Savage song, I'm saying a lot without saying a lot. Okay, that's all gonna come full circle. But I said in the Letter to 21 Savage song, I said, everybody gotta come home. I said, and get what? I done brought a lot of niggas home. And I heard you brought a lot of niggas home. You know what I mean? If you go and watch the music video, you will see that 21 Savage was throwing some shit up. I put that clip in there that while I was saying, I said, I heard you brought a lot of niggas home. 21 Savage was throwing some shit up when that clip rolled. All right? If I don't know what I'm talking about, then why I do that? I know what I'm talking about. So I say, I brought a lot of niggas home. And I said, everybody got to come home. So you got to understand, certain people put in position to do certain things. And instead of getting out your body and trying to oppress them, listen to him and see what he's talking about. I said, that ain't your enemy. That's your twin. That's your kin. Everybody who know me, go, listen. Y'all remember the A-Twin song? Y'all go listen to it again. All right? Not just the whole Sun Tzu album. Go listen to it again if you don't know it. All right? When you see, here go the Sun Tzu. Okay? When you see the general face. Okay? And I actually just took a picture like that recently. Okay? And you see me standing right there next to the general, looking just like the general. Right? So you'll see that in the song Flip. I talked about it. I said, BCF, they done gave me permission to step. Who the fuck wanted? Where when? Y'all don't know what I'm talking about yet. But this shit is a conversation that done happened long before even 2020. I said, they done gave me permission to step. Who the fuck wanted? Where when? I have brothers who are in the conscious community, who some of them been life coaches. You know what I mean? They were like, yo, one of them hit me up, say, nephew, what are they talking about? I thought it was 2022, I think it was. He said, nephew, what are they talking about? I heard somebody was trying to threaten you, da-da-da-da. I said, nah, it's all handled. It's all good. He said, nephew, you already know. I'm already knowing. It's everything good. God got it. This is in God's hands. Everything good. Right? But they were trying to figure out, damn, nephew, because you know, this is this situation, that's the situation that we can do this, da-da-da-da. I said, don't worry about it. Everybody gonna have their time. But it's so many people. Okay, here's another thing. Just because somebody put on a black bandana, blue bandana, red bandana, that don't mean that they're not in tune. Okay, or that they're not conscious. There's a lot of them. That's why I said again, pay attention to who went in what direction. We need them blood niggas too. We need the Crip niggas. We need them blood niggas. We need the GDs. All right, we need them vice lords. All right, we need all the branches too. Because we understand what happened with the 8-ball. All right, it's what it is. Why I say wrong is wrong, but it's been too long. Okay, it's been some BLs. I understand. All right, certain shit you can't just DP. I get it. All right, at a certain point in time though, you're like, everybody gotta look at the condition. Okay, remember why this shit was started from the beginning? To fix a condition. You with me? So we need all them Pyru niggas, G-Shine, all y'all. Everybody gotta come home. Everybody. All right, so go listen to my song, see if I'm just saying this out of nowhere. And if I got a song called A-Twin, where I said all that shit, you know what I mean? I said gang banging magic. It's power behind them hand gestures. I said, set, where you from? Throw your set. Right? I said, big nigga, you lacking. Nigga said, one mic. I said, nigga, shut the fuck up when I'm rapping. Big rat stacking. Fuck your status and your caption. Nigga, you not with it. I didn't kill him, my Glock did it. He bloody like Jay, he not Billy. Y'all gotta hear what I'm saying. Billy like the GOAT. Okay? He bloody like Jay, he not Billy. Killing these rappers and God with it. Remember that whole war that was going on with me in the music industry. Using music or drums. Alright? Which is a different type of drum. You hear me? Which some people, they hear drum, they might think of a gun. Of course, you need to. In order to hear what I'm saying. Some niggas got to think of it like that. They hear me say a stick, they might think I'm talking about an AR or a Draco or whatever the fuck, or a Kill Tech. No, I'm talking about a fucking magic wand. But you need to think of stick to hear a gun. Okay, cool. I need you over here too. You know what I mean? Fine, but it's still a magic one. So what I said, killing these rappers and God with it. Fa, hit top, split it. Listen, who on the war? Who on the static? Nigga, what bracket? You heard me say it, it's on record. I said, who on the war? Who on the static? Nigga, what bracket? Yeah. Who on the war? Who on the static? Nigga, what cracking? Yeah. Who on the war? Who on the static? Nigga, what macking? Yeah. Oh, nigga, what handling? Yeah. I'm with all nation. Burn it bit to the ground, them bitches screaming, what in nation? My young nigga actor, them ain't bandana, them badges. It's an army rising up. I say it's army rising up, them break them chains. That's why we snatching. I say UFO been not parking the hood, we jacking, these ain't rushing. Burning to it, face and busted. That nigga face red, he ain't blushing. I'm with boss, dog, cousin, one nation nigga, my brother. C5, don't shoot each other. You know what I'm saying? 400 years, let's put in war for it. Jericho, we quiet, don't think we forgot about George Floyd. Choppers and sticks and Glocks finna hit that shit on your port. Bit nigga, we right out back. We turn the White House black. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no Capitol Hill. We bringing Wipeout back. I pray my brothers live to see us take this shit back. I'm talking to OGs in the background about all that. That red, blue, and black. I said that red, blue, and black. Say twin, that ain't your, you know what I'm saying? When I say that ain't your op, no, I said that ain't, say twin, that ain't your foe. You know, that ain't your friend, that's your kin. Say twin, let's say one love and let this war shit begin. Say twin, that ain't your op. Say twin, say twin, hit they, get out they top, something like that. It's been a while. Say twin, that ain't your op. Say twin, you hit they block, don't shoot they floor, you hit they top. Alright? If nigga know what I'm talking about. For my ancestors, gang banging magic, it power behind them hand gestures. Set where you from, throw your set, nigga, you lacking. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting niggas on business, say, hey, they wanted you on business when it came time to kill each other. They let y'all niggas kill each other. They didn't shut them operations down. They only wanted to lock your OGs up so that you would be in more disarray. Okay? They let niggas sell drugs. They let the money get involved. They let all that. They didn't shut none of that shit down. They didn't really have a war on drugs. They had a dominion or a monopoly on drugs. They wanted to monitor the drugs. Okay? That's why Pop said, Tupac was like, instead of war on poverty, they got a war on drugs so the police can bother me. He telling you some shit. Man, all they wanted to do was investigate and have reason for the government to push things so that they can have wires tapping people's phone and shit. You know what I mean? That's all they wanted. Like, same thing with the Black Panthers. Because you forget that a lot of the OGs was fucking with the Black Panthers. You forget a lot of the OGs, Larry, all right, King, David, all them, Tookie. These are very intelligent brothers. You heard what I said? All right? These are very intelligent brothers. Okay? And some of them are part of orders that allowed for them to be on a higher level. They were masters. So they went on some, we just want to put some shit together so we can clash out with other neighborhoods. Really, they were working to defend against a lot of other shit that was going on, and they wanted to teach the science of masonry, all the shit that people trying to hold it up. They want to be able to teach that without having to send niggas through the lodges or go up under the white man, as it was called. Same thing Pop was doing, if you know about it. He wanted to teach people the sciences, and they asked him about masonry every fucking night. You know what I mean? He's like, yo, let's just go. Here you go. He established his own lodge, New Wapian Grand Lodge. He said, now what? You want to know about this? You want to know about that? Listen, I'm trying to get you to this. You keep telling me about what they got going on. Right? But he gave them that because that's what they wanted. He gave them the truth about it. So Larry Hoover studied Dr. Malachi Z. York. You know what I mean? A lot of these, there's no mistake that Larry is called the overseer. Come on. That was another term for the Neter, okay, or the Neteru, a god or the gods, all right, or the Neterat, okay, or the Neterat, the goddesses. You know what I mean? That's all. That was the code word. So he an overseer, yeah. Why Larry Hoover was talking about mind, body, and soul, yeah. You know what I mean? What you mean? You niggas just supposed to be gang banging. You don't know what you're talking about, but obviously, you're not going to know, because them GDs, or them G-Ds, or them 7-4s, or them 704s, or them Mason branch-offs, they move in silence. So when you hear niggas say G's move in silence, all right, they're not telling you they guns and silencers, got silencers on them. They telling you it's a code. The G code been the same. G code is don't talk. G code is don't reveal. G code is conceal. That been the G code. But then eventually what? The code got to switch. You know what I mean? It's with code switching. The code got to switch because you have to adapt to the condition or the state, all right, to be able to operate and to shift the condition or the state. You hear me? Same reason why I came out with Pharaoh Clan when I was in high school for the niggas that were in high school. It was for niggas who was in high school to change the condition of what happened in at Carver High and the 4 schools that was on that campus, and I successfully changed that. You know what I'm saying? So there were movements put in place where Pharaoh Clan, when niggas dap each other up, we dap each other up and we pull up in the pyramid, right? We make the pyramid sign, okay? And when we saw niggas, instead of saying fuck popping or what macking, you know what I mean? Niggas saw each other and said fuck burning or what burning, Pharaoh? You know what I mean? And nigga had to respond. That's solar. Niggas saying shit like we talking heavy. But you think about it, damn, this nigga enlightening niggas and got niggas banging the woke shit. Niggas were banging woke shit. They said, fuck burning, Pharaoh. Shit, that's solar. What the hell you standing on? That's square. Yeah, 90 degrees. No, what the fuck going. I had niggas popping their shit like Masons. You know what I mean? I'm for real. So you go listen to that Amen, Amen. All right, phase one, Amen, Amen. Okay, Amen, A-M-U-N. Okay, I think it's called Amen, A-M-E-N. All right, go find that, and you're going to see me walking around on the campus. All right, niggas who from the hood, you know what I mean? Walking around, dapping them niggas up. We pull up in the pyramid. Niggas are throwing up the pyramid. Come on now. That's why I said in the letter to Lil Baby, all right, I said, hope you know I cried when Hot Boy Jimmy died, right? Lil Baby probably don't know, but he know now. Jimmy was one of my students. You know what I mean? I taught Jimmy. I taught Nudo 5. I taught Slide Like Shorty. I taught, who was the other brother? DT or Cold Hearted Savage. Meaning literally they would sit in class and listen to me teach. And they had questions about Mason. They had questions about Illuminati. They had questions about religion, God, what's going to happen when we die. Same question most people got. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there answering. So I said it in the song. All right? I said, you better think back to Mitt Thompson class. All right? That was a lady named Mitt Thompson. Right? Think back to Mitt Thompson class. All right? Post it in the back. Teach a nigga about Illuminati. Answer whatever they ask. All right? Heard the news about how he passed. And that shit broke me down. It ain't never been no hate. I don't get where y'all niggas getting that from. Where even the niggas who were around you, I was teaching them. You know, it no matter who anybody was. It was Blood, Crip, G, Muslim, Christian, everybody in them classes at the school. And we be out there bringing the snacks through, fruit snacks. You know what I mean? Capri Suns, nigga, bags of chips. And niggas are getting there, they come in there. I don't give a fuck if niggas is there for the snacks. They finna hear about Dr. York. I don't care if niggas is in there for the snacks. Hey, we got a lesson today. The lesson today is, what is the fruit? What was the fruit of the Garden of Eden? You know what I mean? A lot of the classes I'm coming out with now is the same shit I was teaching when I was in high school. Psych self-defense, Rosicrucian order. You know what I mean? A lot of niggas is on file in my DM, everything, saying, bro, I remember everything you taught. Yo, you was right about what you taught. It's some lives that's posted now where they like, bro, you was just a young nigga teaching that shit, but you were right about all that shit. And they seeing it now. Okay? Well, the seed has been planted. You know what I mean? So it was never no hate. It fucked me up when Jimmy passed away. Hot Boy Jimmy. And I didn't even like calling him Hot Boy Jimmy. I called him Jimmy. You know what I mean? I kept telling him, you got to come out that hot boy shit. You know what I mean? And he wasn't supposed to, and really, he wasn't really on that bullshit. That's why I said that in the song. He was more so invested in, like, trying to get his shit together. His life together, his school together. Young nigga, right? That's who he was. But so him and DT will, you know what I'm saying, lead class, do what they do, and come back. And when they come back, I'm talking to them. They sitting there, they soaking it all up. You know what I mean? Sometimes niggas be in that state, and they can soak it all up more. But Miss Thompson was cool enough in that class. Okay, and she taught, I think it was social studies and some other shit. It wasn't really world history, something like that. Okay, but I'll sit back and the brother Issa I Am. If you don't know who Issa I Am is, he was another rapper who was on the conscious wave for a while. Right, I don't know if he still is. I haven't spoken to him in a while ever since he flipped out. But his aunt taught at the school. His aunt was named Mrs. Thompson. So go check. Issa last name is Thompson too. So you'll see what I'm saying. His name Issa I Am. Okay, but his name is Issa Thompson. All right, his aunt is Anno Thompson, okay? And she would let me teach in her class. While she teaching, she would let me go and sit in the back. Why? Most of the time I did all the fucking work, but she also knew I didn't give a fuck about that shit they were talking about in social studies. You know what I mean? I still passed that class. I told her, I said, listen, I don't care about none of this. All they lying. And she knew I was telling the truth. But they govern over your lesson plans. So they monitor, they make sure you don't tell people the truth. And she was telling me that. They were governing her lesson plan. She wanted to tell people about certain shit, and she couldn't. You know what I mean? They'll try to make you a target in the school system if you start teaching the real shit. You would be it was a few teachers that wanted to teach the real shit. They couldn't. They had to lie to us. You know what I mean? So, but what they'll do is tell us it's a lie. But if we had to know it, I had a lot of teachers at Carver who they'll tell us this is all bullshit. We know, but you got to know this so that you can pass these standardized tests. You know what I mean? You pass the standardized tests. So we're not the ones who can determine whether or not you can get the diploma. They determine that. So you're going to need that diploma. Boom. So we knew a lot of that shit was bullshit. Okay, so I was sitting in them classes teaching, okay, for the duration of the class. So when you saw the video of the 16-year-old class, 16-year-old Mason teaching class hidden knowledge, one of the people, I think it was a Caucasoid, that made a joke back in 2017, and I think it's still funny to this day. They were like, this is what happened when the teachers say, you want to come up here and teach? And they see me up there and teach. I came over there and talk. But no, we had a substitute that day. All right? And the sisters was like, yo, what's this y'all be talking about? What's all this Pharaoh clan shit? What y'all be talking about? You know what I mean? Hey, look. You don't come in here trolling. You'll get removed. Okay, to let you know. All right, you won't even know. Just say live ended. Okay. We was in class that day, and I think it was a language art class, The teacher was out of class. Either that or a math class. Might have been math. One of them. Okay? But the sister was like, yo, what's all this Pharaoh clan shit y'all be talking about? What's all this Pharaoh? At first it was a joke, but then they was like, they were really interested. They wanted to know. Right? Because they joke on them. And then I said, if you want to know what we talking about, I said, because they were asking, they said, why is only niggas? That was the big thing. Why is only niggas in the organization? And I explained to them, I said, well, I wanted to start with the brothers. I wanted to rectify how the brothers are behaving on the land. You know what I'm saying? Which was Carver. You know what I mean? I want to rectify the brothers, and I'm a man. And what we would do, that we had, like, it would be Thursdays where the brothers would dress up. All right? That day you wear a button down. All right? If you had slacks, you wear the slacks. But brothers, all the brothers, there'll be a lot of them. All right? Don't let anybody fool you. Okay? I had Carver campus on lock.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? AJC didn't give me the best all-around senior award for nothing. That's why I put it in the F Black History music video. You see me graduating, receiving that award. That's the AJC, Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Atlanta Journal AJC Cup Award for best all-around senior. Okay? They granted me that. All right? Not for no reason. So what I say, I went to hell I mean school, graduated at the top of my class. All right? Still never thought I was over my peers. I spent that time teaching them because we was in hell together. You know what I mean? So they were like, yo, why it's only niggas? I said, yeah, I'm getting it. So we do certain things. Thursday, we stand back and let the sisters eat lunch first. We'll let the sisters get their plate first. The sisters walk by, okay. They don't even realize what they be holding. All right? There was a situation right here into the Most High. A brother named Jeremy and a brother named Kyrie. All right? There's a brother named Jeremy and Kyrie. And they had some type of issue. Okay? We all would sit. It'd be a table. It'd be like 3 tables we would take up. 3 lunch tables full of pharaohs. And everybody else was like onlookers or eavesdroppers. All right? But that shit was on lock. Don't let them fool you. Okay? It was 2 brothers, Kyrie and Jeremy. Okay? Nigga had a different name. Jeremy, Francois, some other shit. Gene, some other shit. All right? We used to get on his ass about it because he was supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, doing what he was doing. Right? So boom. They had issues. Some type of issue. And they finna fight. And I think I might have walked into the lunchroom late that day and seen them niggas face to face finna go at it. Niggas standing on top of the lunch table with their phones out. So I said, oh shit. Like, doing all the laughing, childish shit. All I see is phone lights and niggas face to face pulling up their pants and shit, put it on display. Right? So I walked over, past the little crowd, and I walked right between them niggas. You know, you don't get involved with 2 niggas is at it. But I walked right between them niggas. When I did that, all the pharaohs stood up. They already knew, oh shit. You know what I mean? I'm not making this up, y'all. I'm gonna show you some shit so you can see what I'm saying, right? But I walked right between them niggas and just stood there, right? And then they still kind of doing their little displays. It's a lot of ego still there. But I said, both of y'all, let's go outside now. I literally just said, both of y'all, let's go outside now, bro. Now, right? And they walked. I started walking. I didn't wait for them. They walked with me. And we got outside. We stood out there, walked past the metal detector shit, and we stood out in the front of Carver High School. And I stood there. I said, yo. I said, what the fuck is y'all doing? Niggas told me, he did this, that, and I said, no. I'm not talking about what the fuck y'all bickering over. I said, are y'all monkeys? Nigga looked at me fucked up. I looked at them back fucked up. I said, are y'all monkeys? They're like, hell no. I said, are y'all these people's entertainment? They're like, hell no. I said, okay, well, that's all the fuck y'all niggas finna be for them. Some entertainment. Right? They weren't trying to hear that first. But I got through to them niggas. Right? I said, you ain't finna put on no show for these people. I said, fuck all that. I said, here what's finna happen. Yeah, they were both Pharaoh. They were both a part of the organization that I had at Carver. Pharaoh Clan. Okay, which meant to what you will become Pharaoh. All right? It was a process. All right? Speaking about the day and time to be in now. That's why I had a song like Real Woke. Go look at it on SoundCloud. Phase 1, Real Woke. Not woke, real woke. Before people would even stand the word woke. You know what I'm saying? To tell people that I told them pharaohs, I said, one day they're going to infiltrate the woke movement. All right? I said, I'll be there. You're going to see me. I said, I'll be there when that happens to bring forth what this shit is really about, which is right knowledge. Okay? I just had to bring it a different way to those people and still introduce them to the science. I said, here's what y'all niggas finna do. Right? I said, y'all finna go in there. Right? I said, I'm gonna be right there with y'all. I said, you finna go in there. They think y'all niggas finna get into it. I said, y'all niggas finna walk in there. I said, and y'all gonna dap each other up. And then y'all niggas finna sit with each other at the table. Right? So they looked at me, they looked at each other, and they reached to dap each other. I said, no. I didn't say right here. I said, y'all niggas finna dap each other up in front of all them onlookers that thought y'all niggas was entertainment. And we finna show them how the fuck we move. All right? We can't have this amongst each other. You know what I mean? Boom. So we went in there, and they literally, as soon as they got in the lunchroom, that first open area before you get to the tables, they stood there in the middle of that area. They dapped each other up with the Pharaoh handshake, and they both went to the middle table, the main table, where I sat at, and they sat with each other. You know what I mean? And we sat there. I think I had started a freestyle. Niggas started freestyling. I shifted the whole shit. As soon as I walked in, yeah, I done fucked your whole motion up because you thought these niggas who represent what we got going on finna be your little entertainment. No, that ain't how this shit go. You know what I mean? So it was real. That's how this shit moved. The whole shit was on lock. We killed that energy and flipped it. And let me tell you something about them two brothers so you get the clear picture. They wasn't no hoes. Them niggas wasn't no softies. All right? I'm not playing them like, you know, they was under me or none of that. It wasn't none of that. However, I had garnered a certain level of respect. You feel what I'm saying? And it was through authenticity. All right? There was rap involved too, because could nobody out rap me. All right, so I rap to get to certain ranks. Okay, that's just a part of the truth. All right, authenticity garnered respect. Okay, and through that respect, they were able to listen to what I said, and they didn't fight. I stopped niggas from fighting. You know what I mean? And my respect was different. Even when I met one of my biggest homeboys, who I could go years and not talk to that nigga. But let me tell you something. He can't call me and say some bullshit, and I can't call him and say some bullshit because we coming, whoever. Right, so I was dealing with one of my homeboys who, at the time, I didn't know who the fuck he was. All I know is everybody was fucking scared of this nigga. I don't give a damn. I mean, I'm doing me. I got my own motion. I started the motion in ninth grade. You know what I'm saying? So, we in class, and we actually done came on live and talked about the shit. He done told his side of the story. The whole shit lined up together. So, we in class, and he's sitting with the same nigga, right? He's sitting with the same nigga who was called Jeremy. Right? So nigga Marco sitting with Jeremy. He was sitting behind his sister. I can't remember her name. I think it was Simone, something like that. And they get the she was look thick, you know what I'm saying? She was pregnant, you know what I mean? So niggas was trying to get at her still, all of that. So she sitting in front of them. They making a little motion, doing the little shit niggas be doing, they pan they laps and shit. And talking about how they'll hit her, all this other shit they'll do it to her, you know what I mean? Sex with her, all this stuff. And I'm sitting to the left of them. Right? And she turned around, she kind of like laughing, but then when she turned around, it would look on her face. It did something to me. You know what I mean? Because she would have just been like, boy, stop, and went on about her day. That would have been different. It was the look on her face. The look on her face is like, I'm working on these little math problems. Who was in this? I think her name was Miss Kelly, right? Class, right? I think that was her name. Miss Kelly or something like that. So little white lady, right? I think she had just got out of college. But, and she was a cool white lady. You know, but we sitting there, I'm doing these little math problems, and they going on about the class, and 5 minutes done passed. I'm like, nah, I gotta say something. So I put my pen down, you know what I mean? I turned a little bit, looked at them, and they looked and realized I was looking at them, and I said, yo, I think y'all owe her an apology. Niggas like, what? Right? They're like, what the fuck? Who the fuck this nigga is? Da, 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 da. I said, no, serious. I think y'all owe her an apology. I said, you didn't see her face when she turned around. I said, but what you said hurt her feelings. I said, what you don't understand is that's somebody's mother. She was pregnant. I said, that's somebody's mother. Would you want somebody to talk to your mother that way or refer to your mother that way? Nigga got ready to fight. Nigga was ready to fight. He's standing up. You know what I mean? He going crazy. Da, 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 da. He said, what you trying to hit? Da, 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 da. Nigga always got some shit to say. Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? I said, well, I said, if you want, we can fight after class. I said, but right now, I said, I'm going to finish my classwork because this counts. I said, so if you want to be stupid, all right, that's you. I said, but I'm not about to be stupid like you. I'm going to finish this classwork. And then after that, all right, we can do this in the hallway. I said, you just meet me outside of class. I said, so if you can handle it, just wait for a second. Yeah, I'll accept your appointment and we go outside and we can handle it. It fucked him up. So I think that might have been the reason why he wound up, you know what I'm saying, being able to be ushered out of class. Because I don't think the teacher would have been able to hold him back. I don't think that. I think it's what I said that might have, you know what I'm saying, destabilized him for a second, long enough for him to be ushered out of the class. Right? I'm like, yeah, I'll do that, but I'll only accept your appointment after class. I'm gonna finish this. I didn't tell him, no, I'm not trying to fight, brother. And I said, well, listen, because nigga don't know me. Listen, what? Them folks were trying to expel me from Decatur. They were trying to expel me from the Cat schools. All right, all them folks, Officer Patterson, Officer Osby. Listen, I can tell you names. Them folks are putting in motions to get my ass to fuck up. Like, now you don't want to suspend me or kick me out of McNair. You mean to tell I can't go to the Cat school? You know what I mean? The prosecutor was like, yo, you might want to go to Fulton County. How the prosecutor gonna tell me, yo, you might want to, I'm looking at this shit. I don't know what you did or who you pissed off, but these folks are writing a Bible on you. That one little charge, no, them folks is trying to take you down. You're going to do time. Like, this is DeKalb. Go to Fulton County, fight it there. They'll be more lenient. All right? All right, so I was in 8th grade. I went to court 7 months about that shit. Boom. By the time I finally got into the court system, the last court date with the judge, the woman judge, her name was Cassandra Kirk. Okay? Listen, I'm telling you names of judge. She's Supreme Court judge now. All right, so go look what I'm telling you. He said, damn, he didn't make up the judge name. Yeah, her name, it was a woman. And I'm so grateful it was a woman because the nigga who was on the fucking, who was judging at that time or who was residing at that time, before she got on, he sent everybody down. He said, I watched him. Listen, they got a bench that was sitting outside the municipal, I think it was Atlanta Municipal, one of them court. It was a big-ass court in the center of Pittsburgh. Over there by people, actually over there by Peopletown, right? And some of here, y'all know what I'm talking about if y'all from there, right? It's a big-ass court, whatever it was. I think it's Atlanta Municipal, if I'm not mistaken. Whatever it is, somebody quote the shit, whatever the fuck it is. All right, because I ain't been there. Last time I was there, I think 2019, because I was trying to find the judge to tell her that I kept my promise. I wanted to take her to lunch. I had just did the battle movie, all this other stuff. I was doing a lot of positive things. I wanted to tell her I kept my promise. Okay, I still want to tell her that, but somewhere in me, I think she might know. You know what I mean? Hopefully she does. Okay, but if not, I hope one day that I can take her to lunch and thank her for not sending me down the fucking road about some shit these folks done trumped up on me. You with me? Because they were talking about you're looking at a minimum 1 year. And first they were talking about the youth detention center because I'm 13. But then they talking about, nigga, you going down, like to jail. I'm like, these folks, what the fuck? All right, so boom. What was I going with that? Yeah, so there's a bench that was sitting outside the door leading into the court. And it's like waiting outside to see if God gonna send you to hell or if he gonna, you know what I mean, let you in heaven. So I'm watching, I'm getting closer and closer to the door. Nigga, if you know what I'm talking about, if niggas know what I'm talking about, you get closer and closer to that door, you get more and more nervous. You don't went over your paperwork, you don't went over your lines. I mean, yes, your honor, yes, your honor. You going over your head, you trying to figure out how you gonna stand, if you gonna get it. And I was taught to stand a certain way, so, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? But you're going all out. Like, I'm all black, I'm checking, do I got anything, I can do this. And the closer I got to the fucking, it's about 13, 14 niggas in front of me. Closer I get to the shit, by like, I'm like, now I'm in like 10th in line. So like 9 niggas in front of me. All I hear is, all right, what's the next case? 15 minutes go by, gavel hit, 3 years. What the fuck? We all juveniles. You know what I mean? Oh shit, what the hell? 3 years, probation, 40 hours, what's that, 400 hours community service. This type of shit out here. I'm like, what the fuck? All these one package, one person. Damn, bam, 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 the end. Next. The nigga saying next, like what the hell? Who made this man mad when he came to work? So this is what I thought in my head. His wife cheated on him. Like she cheated on him, he found out, and still came to work. You don't just come to, you not stocking shelves. You dealing with niggas' lives. He wasn't really hearing them cases, y'all. I'm listening for all of this shit. So the last nigga, he looking at me like, fuck. I'm looking like, damn, he gotta go in this. He go in. He sat his ass down. Boom, 2 years. Down the road, some other shit. And these were like charges like all of it wasn't really little shit. But, you know, some people didn't have priors. Because I was talking to a lot of them niggas. Some niggas didn't have no priors. They lawyers saying it's all good. You know, your lawyers show up too. You know, listen, let me tell you something. If your lawyer show up and a nigga, if his blazer go beneath his damn, his blazer touching his thigh, you finna lose that damn case. If your lawyer show up and he drop anything, I don't give a fuck if it's pen, and he gotta stoop down and pick it up. Yeah, bro. I'm just letting you know that's just how this shit go. So a lot of lawyers is out there standing in line sipping coffee. I'm like, you ain't gonna give a fuck about these little boys. You know what I mean? A lot of them were Caucasoids. I said they don't care about us, right? So the last nigga gotta go in. He look at me like fuck. I'm looking at him like fuck, right? And he go in. It's different. It's a different way because it's like, what can we really do? You know what I mean? Even if we try to run, it's like, look, they got ways. They gonna find you. They gonna send out the slave patrol to try to find you, and they gonna capture you again. It's the same system. So niggas is waiting on judgment day, right? So he go in. They sat his ass down. 2 years, some other shit, and it was some little shit he had, no priors, right? So I'm like, damn. And then right before I'm finna go in, I said, well, I guess it's my time to go to hell. I know I didn't listen. It was here's what I'm gonna say. They trumped up the fucking charges. All right. They started out with like 4 charges, but then they went in and dug up shit. They had recordings from the hearings that they were splicing. They talking about how I was calling on the Most High, said that I was calling out terrorists and threats and shit, and I obstructed this, and I kicked an officer, and all of that I was doing. I'm like, damn, the fuck? That one kick done turned into 17 charges. I ain't kicked the officer, right? I don't know how to, and that shit done, I'm like, damn, they trying to really railroad me. So I stood up, you know what I mean? I'm like, well, time to go. It's my turn to go to hell. And what they say, all right, we're going on recess, okay, da-da-da-da. And they closed the door for a second. I said, what the fuck? They opened the door. It was Cassandra Kirk, a woman. She just got there. She done just had her coffee. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Her husband probably had a good night and a good AM. You know what I mean? She came there. She was singing He Loves Me. That's special. Lee different. You know what I'm saying? She was singing that shit. You know what I mean? All the way to 4:30. Can't wait to get home. That's the judge I got. She get there. She greeting everybody. Da 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 da. So they open up the doors. All I heard was, Lord. I'm like, damn, whoever the fuck Hell's Kitchen leader was, he gone. I can't remember the nigga name. Who remember the Hell's Kitchen nigga? He gone. All right, so I bring my tray. I ain't nervous to bring my shit. You know what I mean? So I stand there. I stand there with respect. I got on my all black. I know how to stand. Okay, and I'm speaking to the judge honorably. All right, and the prosecutor get to going off. You know what I mean? This is your responsibility as the judge. You know, I think it was a Caucasoid woman that was my prosecutor, right? And she's like, yeah, it's your responsibility to make sure that these types of delinquents and off the streets, and if not, they're going to be robbing houses. If not, I'm like, damn. And before, because I moved county, so I'm not at McNair no more. You know what I mean? They done sent me over to Fulton County where they advise we go, so we moved counties, right? Then it was time to move any motherfucker way. And I ended up at King Middle. You know what I mean? And all my teachers was like, yo, I don't know what you facing. Nigga, you been going to court for 7 months. You ain't really told us a lot. My teacher, I had a teacher named Miss Ray Lee. All right, I had a teacher named Miss Tate. You know what I mean? Bless her soul. Okay? And because she's passed on. Mr. Hakeem. Okay, I remember their names. And Mr. Gainesville. Okay, so if they ever pop up at a concert or a pro-cert, all right, or they ever comment and say, I always knew you was going to make it, I'm going to say, yes, they did. Because they stepped in on my behalf. They didn't even fucking know me, right? They all came together, not just them, Mr. Carter, some other people. They all stepped in on my behalf, and they were like, it was Miss Kelly, I think, that might have been the Miss Kelly, okay? Because when I came to that school, I had infractions. Remember, they were trying to expel me in 6th grade. I went to the art school, the DeKalb Elementary School of the Arts in 7th grade. That went from kindergarten to 7th grade. All right. And I didn't keep my grades up. I explained that already because I was more focused on girls and shit, you know what I mean, than getting the grades that were high enough to be transferred over to the 8th through 12th grade school, which was DECA, I think it was. Oh, no, it was DSA. So you had the DeKalb Elementary School of the Arts. That's still over there by, it's over by Tilson Drive. Okay, right over there by the Shell that's next to the Hemp. Okay, it's in Decatur, okay, or DeKalb. So they wound up sending me back. I had to go back to my home school, which was McNasty. Okay, so I moved from there, go to King Middle. I came over there with a lot of infraction. They said, nigga, you still ain't served your 10-day suspension. They suspended you for 10 days before you came over here. Because I went back, I don't know what the hell happened. I got suspended again or some shit. After the big shit that went down, you know what I mean? Some other shit. They actually, I went back and they suspended me again. I don't think I did nothing that time. Or maybe I did. I don't know. I slapped plenty niggas in my life. I don't know what they are. I might have slapped somebody. I don't remember. But either way, I got 10 days. And McNair wasn't suspending you for no 2-3 days. They'll give you 10 days about some little shit. All right? They didn't want to deal with us. And so they moved county. I go to that school. They said, bro, you coming with a lot of infractions. That was the first time I heard somebody use the word like that. But they said, here's what we're going to do. I'm looking at you. You seem like a decent kid. All right? We're gonna wipe all that clean. And we're going to put you in these advanced placement class like you asking for, all of that. And we're going to give you a chance. We're going to let you show us what you're made of. And I represented so hard for King Middle. You know what I mean? I was in the No Place for Hate programs. I did a lot of the playwrights for the school. You know what I mean? I was putting on performances and fundraising and all kind of stuff for the school. You with me? And I had a big name by the time I left. Let me see if I can find that for you. Right? So, listen, it was on Phase 1 production. Dr. Miller, yep. There go Lil Phase at King Middle, in the King Middle Auditorium. And what it say? A Dr. Malachi York tribute. Right? A stand, Malachi York tribute. Okay? Telling people to take a stand. In 8th grade. So that means 8th grade. Right? So they let me through that. Okay? So long story short, my teachers was like, because they saw how I represented, I had straight A's. I think I maintained all A's that year. Okay? That might not be 100% true. I think I might have. No, I think I did all A's that year. All A's in my 8th grade year. I think I finished with all A's, straight A's. Okay, and I'm not even trying to lie, so I think I might see an 80 somewhere in my mind. Okay, but I think that didn't count. I think it might have been a progress report before the report card. Okay, so that might have been a confusion. But I had all A's, right? Boom. So I got a lot of shit to show for. My teacher stepped in on my behalf. They're like, we don't know what you done got into, what you did, okay? But we got your back. Whatever it is, we got letters of recommendation. I remember the sister, she was a real sister. You could tell she was from the hood. You could tell she was from there. All right, but she was like, yo, I don't know what, like, whatever it is, but we got you, okay? We got you. All right, and she did her letters of recommendation. Mr. Gainesville, Mr. Hakeem, Miss Tate, okay, and the counselor, a few different people, okay? Even it was a lady there who was a student of Dr. York who put me on to Last Prophets. So I think we call Last Prophets. Gil Scott, Revolution Will Not Be Televised. She put me on to that, okay? And she really took to me. So she was like, oh, yeah, I got you. And I don't want to call her Janet. I think she was at that time. If not, she was a PA or something like that. But she was always pushing something around. If it wasn't a trash can, it was maybe an easel. But I see her pushing something. But I can't really remember what the object was. But they all wrote letters of recommendation, okay? So I had that. Some Mason brothers came through. My mother came through, obviously. My mother's mate came through, okay? Other people in the community, they wrote letters of recommendation telling about who and what I actually am in real time, not what this big-ass Bible against me is saying I am. Some terrorist running around that can't stay out of trouble. You know what I mean? I had my days getting into what I got into, but I could not stay out of trouble. It's just motherfucker didn't want to leave me alone. You know what I mean? I had to show niggas that you ain't no bullies, okay? So, boom. So, we get to the court, and the lady, you know, Cassandra Kirk, all right, the Judge Cassandra Kirk, okay, basically shut the whole thing down. She heard the prosecutor going on about how I'm a delinquent. And I mean, I look over to my right, I'm looking at my homie fighting tears because they dealing with her son. She know her son ain't none of this shit on his paper, right? But they dealing with me like a number. It ain't really much she can do, you know what I mean, except show up and support. And she in her all black, I'm not all black. She's standing right there with me looking like, what? At what all this shit this lady is saying. And I'm telling you, Judge Cassandra Kirk didn't even look that lady in her eye. She kept looking at me. You know what I mean? She looked at the paper. She reading my letter of recommendation, maybe like 7 to 12 pages, somewhere along there. One of the numbers, I think it was 7. She flipping through the pages, all these letters, front and back. All right, different letters. And she reading that. She looking at me. I'm looking at her. She read it again. She looking at me. I'm looking at her. Right? And then she closed it. She told the prosecutor that they could, that's it. That'll be all. Right? And she said, what I see, she touched the other stack, the big stack, the Bible against me, or the book that they wrote against me, right? She said, I'm looking at this. She said, the man I'm looking at right now, she said the young man I'm looking at right now doesn't match what they're saying against him. This is what she said to the court and to me. She said, what I'm looking at, and who I'm looking at in front of me don't match what I'm looking at in his paper. She said, but she touched the letter recommendation stack. She said, but this match you. She said, so, Mr. Hargrove. I said, yes, Your Honor. She said, I need you to make me a promise. Right? And in my mind, I'm like, whatever the hell she finna ask. I don't care if she finna promise me to mow her lawn for 365 days straight, every AM at 8 a.m. Okay, whatever this lady finna ask me for, it sounds like she not finna send me down. I don't even want to do a year in the detention center. That's not my life. I never saw that. You know what I mean? So she ain't finna send me down the road. Okay? So she said, I need you to make me a promise. I need you to promise me you'll never reappear in court under these circumstances ever again in your life. So I need you to promise me that. And I promised her that. And she said, well, I want to adjust and close this case. Right? She was done talking to me. You know what I mean? She said, I want to adjust and close this case. Last thing she said to me was, good luck, young man. Right? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna do great things. And she was done. She was ready for whatever next was coming. She said, I want to adjust and close this case. Here's what I feel. I don't know, but I feel that she was a mother, right? Or just her ability to be a mother might have had something to do with why she was able to see me. You know what I mean? Because I would have really hated to have to face a judge who can't see me. That's the worst feeling. All you had to do was look at the man. That's why Tupac, in his court case, he was saying, yo, this whole time you haven't even looked me in the eye. He said, you haven't looked at the man, the actual living being. All right? He said, so it's clear to me you're not in search of any or justice because you're not beholding me. You know what I mean? He said, so as far as I'm concerned, it's no point in me asking for a lighter sentence. You know what I mean? I'm not in your hands. I'm in God's hands. You with me? Because they didn't care about it. So she saw who I was and gave me that opportunity. So she adjusted and closed the case. So that's how it panned out. She adjusted and closed the case and sent me on my way with good Good love.
Where to start, and I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I just want you to know that I'm sorry.
Goddamn, my wrist frozen in time. Can't go back to none of them days when I was broke. $10, been down that road before. Stuck it out, the little bitty boy from down below without no dough, they bug it out. Fell off in court and made the judge a promise I never be back. Except when we hit the store, they locked me up, hope she ain't see that. Cause I done did some worse shit than that. But on the scale of life, my good outweigh the bad, so ain't no way they'll send me to hell twice. Sent my head straight out the college, she came back pregnant. Mama told me that just part of being an adolescent. Thought I found me a little trophy, little bitty bad blessing. Caught her fucking on her baby daddy, half naked, nah. Did I deserve what y'all did to me? I say hell to the fuck nah. Even though I was hurt, that shit wasn't meant to be, and I'm compelled to say fuck y'all. Things are looking up for me now. Feel like karma's making its round. It's my turn now, won't be held down, no. Karma's gonna visit you too. You gotta pay for the shit that you put me through. I hope you do, I hope you do now, no. Dick in the mud, belly chain, cush down the rain, water thicker than blood. I thought they said they let my mama struggle to hell with us. My mama was there for y'all, but y'all weren't there for us, nah. Don't you remember what I told you, yeah? All through them days I used to hold you, yeah. That was just the pain we had to go through, and we would make it out. Shout out Montana for that flow for sure. Brody took me on tour, told me to focus more. Real nigga recognize the hustle, throw that rope and torch. Unlike the other nigga that signed a deal and closed the door on the same one supported y'all. You got it all, you don't win big, guess I'm too short for y'all. Been watch me grow some
Gather round.
I feel like I can make it. The storm is over now.
I'm the one they hated on. I'm the one they plot against. Said it wasn't gonna work out. They ain't did Pilates sense. I'm just trying to come up in this hell that they got us in. I done make that promise to myself that I gotta win. Everybody gotta go. Everybody gotta end. That's why I done learned to see my soul as my body friend. I know I ain't nothing like this mold I'm embodied in. Soon as I landed, I was like, no, nigga, not again. Ain't nobody praying for me. Speaking to the God within. The only one who answered me when I was trying to find a friend. Knocking on the human doors. They do not invite us in. We they last hope. Who else niggas thinking God will send? If these niggas murder they messiahs, then they got us then. We roll up to heaven in the limo with a lot of tent. Then they got us then. We roll up to heaven in the limo with a lot of tent. Heaven in the limo with a lot of tent. Make a pit stop in the hood that they It's a new life, a new chance to do right. They want the real niggas gone, where the leaders at? Now ET ain't got no phone and he needed that. That's the only way he'll make it home. I'm just speaking facts, real life. Yeah. You've been tuned in to the Rivals Tape Experience. Yeah, it's now 2018. Last year, me and my family was homeless. All my teacher was telling me to go to school, go to college. I told him, nah, I gotta take care of them. Now I work hard, sold cars at a dealership, shot videos, got up some bread. A month after I graduated, got my family in the house, nigga. I was reaching out to my friends, no response. My girl left, went to college, came back pregnant. Niggas changed on me, niggas ain't wanna help me, they tried to shine on me. But you know what I mean? I still had some good people put in my life. You know, they helped me through the hard times. Y'all know who y'all is. Things started, you know, looking up for me. Views went crazy, buzz got louder. Opportunities kept streaming in, money got longer. Shit, I deserve this now, don't it? I got a whole lot of rivals, but I ain't afraid, I'm made. You did what I'm saying? Keep it up, Marco. Keep it up, Sir. Monte, Marlo, Mike. Shit, nigga, we don't know who gon' blow and win. All we know is don't switch up. You did what I'm saying? R.I.P. Bankroll rap forever, nigga. Love. Shout out my mama. She say the lot of y'all niggas like be grateful, nigga. Shout out Black, Nicholson, Matt, Proto, Jid, Mr. G, Dot, Mama Thompson, my brother East of the whole 1KMG. Pharaoh Clan, my mentor and friend Dan Inger. Shout out my nigga DJ the Reaper, nigga. I know you coming home. And nigga, shout out my ex too. We had a real good run. Shout out my rivals and that nigga Dre. I remember when you would let me wear shoes and clothes, and I ain't had no shoes and clothes, nigga. It's all good. Shout out my nigga Ish. Shout out my supporters on IG. Shit, Top Bug, Naughty. Shout out my nigga Bishop, Mayhem, Anubis, my nigga Josh. Bro, stay up, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know you coming home too, fam. My nigga Jannar, I know what time it is. Shout out all them folks who blocked me when I was just trying to build my numbers up to get more attention to make this happen. Shout out Ancient Oral Julie, my nigga JB, nigga. I told you I wasn't gonna forget about you, nigga. Mama G, it's all love. Mr. Lonnie Green, what's up, family? I'm grateful for all y'all, man, real life. And shout out the whole county of the guys. Not love, you know what I mean? My nigga 24 Heavy, Safe Mode Chronicles, nigga. Good look, you know what I mean? I know y'all know where I'm coming from with this. Shout out the judge who closed my case and gave me a chance to get it right. You know what I mean? Quincy Bonds was good, you know what I mean? Hey, shout out the whole family, all my brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? Hey, shout out Malachi York, the master teacher, yo. Y'all already know what's going on. Rival experience. Appreciate you. Real love. Clan! Bro, they be like drum emoji. I need you to survive. Yeah, he need two-face and that's on bro, they be like drum emoji. I'm nigga pop out by myself, give for who coming for me. I want like that, who the fuck told Noodle to switch up on me like that? They say I went dangerous in high school, they don't even know me like that. Thought out my city, let's do better, we got the whole world watching. I fuck with 24 Heavy with Say Mo back in my days in Clayco. He's on DM like nigga, remember you don't know me. Damn, my damn say bet okay bro, when Nala told me to lay low. It seemed like shit got a little hot, I was getting death threat, they were flying. Like I became the enemy of every rapper in Atlanta all of a sudden. No pressure, I put up my peace, love and light and brought in them guns. I'm ready, whole day ain't expecting them all to run. I put in the word, it's already done. These niggas too faking that on phone in my show, love to y'all. I'm a real nigga, ain't never wanna see my nigga Paper Love fall. But I couldn't get a feature for Paper Love, he wouldn't even fuck with me. But every video I ever shot for bro, I shot that shit for free. Put it on y'all mama, I want a nigga that y'all could call on. Folks will use you up, but then it's fuck you when it's all gone. Bittersweet, now that I'm the one they got their eyes on. Cause I've been slept on, stepped on, hated on it, then lied on it. Hurts, at least at first, but then you start getting pissed off. Then you start calling names, you're like for everybody till you diss off. I wonder why J. Cole didn't want to sign a nigga. I was 18, but I'm glad, cause looking back, a nigga had it bad, and now I'm doing great things, and it's all good. I'm still in the hood, it made me paranoid. I ain't scared of niggas, I'm a greater nigga, but I know they gon' shoot cause they scared, boys, so I keep mine. Meanwhile, screaming guns down. Some call that contradiction, I call that intuition. I call that I'ma live as long as I can so that I can finish the mission. I'm not Amber Light, but niggas still can't be green when you in this position. I'm talking to myself in the future like that, little nigga, why didn't you listen? These people, they evil, they humans, it's vicious. I ain't doing no shows, I feel like everybody trying to set me up, so now I know the Fed be tapping all my phones in every fucking car. I'm already knowing they want me locked and gone forever for the law. They got agents in the conscious community, I never fuck with y'all. Why the fuck would I scream free Rashad Jamal? He wasn't screaming out free Doc. Why the fuck would I follow 19 keys? That part of us still up. Nigga done got it, they feeling cause I've been revealing that they ain't no shit but guap. But them niggas just marketing different than y'all get a ticket to listen to niggas just talking. That ain't it. I say they name cause I want them to feel me. And I'm throwed off for real, they gon' have to kill me. And then long live me, you feel me? I spoke on YSL, I spoke on Thugger being inside that cell without no bail. Yeah, just hear voices creeping around in head, he loud as hell. When he come out that bitch and finally help, only time will tell. Well, until then, I call that guy's work. I said fuck drip, I'm on killings, leaving these lies hurt. Crazy how trouble PNB and Takeoff had to die first. For y'all celebrities to admit this shit done fucked us up. But instead of labor money to cover expenses, we doing fish fries. Meanwhile, the NOI making money off us on the west side. Being high, we didn't know why they wouldn't come help us, but they chastised the police ride. They don't be all in the hood, cause they don't even care about crime. I don't see why we can't police our own communities. Call Farrakhan, and I teach my brothers to carry guns, cause niggas ain't shooting fair ones. I love y'all. Shit, I need you to survive. Anybody that I mention is still love, but it's like, why? All I did was challenge us to do better while we alive. I spoke the truth, and now y'all folk want me to die. Why? Like, I I need you to survive. Anybody that I mention is still love, but it's like why? All I did was challenge us to do better while we alive. Spoke the truth, and now y'all folk want me to die. Why? Hard. Fuck that, bring the beat back. I need you to survive. This from the heart shit. I love y'all. I need you to survive. I sound really on that, but I'm really on that. All I wanted was to run these streams up so that we could buy land. I had a song called Draco Halo with brother Eastside I Am. Fancy us in my caution video, cause we were like fam. Till he started fucking with Tory Lanez, Jacquees and Birdman. The energy switched up then. He started attacking my daughter like he ain't give his life for our people and sacrifice all the luxuries niggas take for granted. Why y'all acting like y'all the spiritual fathers? Why you think we call Malachi Bob? If you can't solve it for you, I could do the math. But why bother? Face to face, Teresa Islam about the action. I thought he would see my light, but he looked over me and perhaps I was taller or a part of the nation he repped. He would have passed me $1 or maybe a quarter or a penny or a tag or a follow or maybe a comment or a share. Anything but just a stare, anything but just a handshake and let's take the picture quickly. I ain't tripping, I just hate how niggas did me. Like you don't know the son of God when you hear his voice and it's not gonna. I ain't saying my name Jesus, this Omari, that's my mama, that's Selena. So the light gave birth to the highest priest again. Am I speaking clearly? I incarnate every, nah, fuck it, they don't even hear me. See, it was days a nigga ain't had nobody to talk to, not even serious. My tea's going cold, I wonder why it hurt my spirit, knowing they kill us or imprison us and the people don't even care. They try to hit me with a sentence, I'ma run on and I mean period. With y'all picture on the wall to just remind me it could be worse than. I wish they ain't kill Sabian, leave us without these little herbal men. Won't even got healers out here now, just veggie products, 5 purchasing, just a new hustle. All I hear is 2 for $5, big bro, I got them turkeys in. These niggas really be dinosaurs, just like Barney without the purple skin. Snakes in the grass, snakes in the street, snakes in the wind. When you really shine, they love when you down, hate when you win. We got niggas from the shot to Atlanta imitating the land. They must not know the land, be linking in. United we stand. If you know, you know Nipsey was bringing the shit together, one of them men. That documentary wasn't even all they were worried about what they planned. Niggas talking about they been building, I ain't heard about it since when? Since Tama Ray, since Nuwapu, since Sabian. You know how this lifespan ish go, ain't nothing shorter than. Other words, no matter how this story ends, it's all good, more bien. Inshallah, let this war begin. And to whoever left who listening, I need you to survive. And I ain't never been no vegan, but I think it's truly wise. Just cause you see me fuck a 10-piece up, don't mean I'm losing vibes. I want my people off them burgers and them pizzas and them fries too. But why you think I put them on that fast? Cause even if they ain't vegan and they do that, they still can reach critical mass. Be careful how you handle the masses, they really fragile. Remember, y'all was asleep before somebody came and grabbed y'all like, damn. I need you to realize I ain't scared of death cause everybody dies. I ain't scared to step cause every time we scribe, it ain't nothing left to tell on how we slide. Yeah, I know folk like damn, why the fuck he going Vietnam? They don't even know when I drop on, that's just me being calm. She spelling I like EYE, she thinks she me a song. She never had love from G.O.D, she thinks she need a song. God, ain't no competition like I'm in a bit to compete a song. Like I ain't on some shit that I ain't speaking on. They think of Faye want a traveler, that mean that he be gone. I know they hate cause how I'm great, don't wanna see me on. But if you hear this shit, just remember I need you to survive. 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 I can't wait till motherfuckers say shit to me. Cause I'ma say some shit. I'ma get right back with you. All I know is how to speak the real. I'm gonna try you to. Mask on, mask off, future Percocet Molly. I don't really think that song helped anybody. Had my niggas starting off young, drunk in their bodies with them Xannies and them Skittles. Trayvon turned in his grave. They would never admit that the songs turned on this way. Got them smoking that bullshit, lungs turning to gray. But they say that it's just fun, it's just games, money and fame, but his kids dying in vain. No one wanna be blamed, but don't nobody wanna help this shit. They living good like fuck the hood, sick of they selfish shit. Don't tell me shit about no cancel culture. That nigga bitch speaking them fast, fuck you gon' cancel code for. Cancel city girls while you at it, cancel future them, they turn my generation into addicts. I said what I said, who the fuck won't stand it? Who you mad at more? Me or the motherfuckers who killing y'all for rap awards? Slammed on the news by the same rap niggas who asked for war, it's all gimmick. But CTI, I'm one of them young, energetic activists that you've been speaking about. Hey, nigga, fuck them reparations while his babies getting killed, man, they gone. Why we begging when all you rappers make up billions alone? You spend millions on homes, 500K for 2 diamond earrings, that's $1,000 for 500 families, but y'all don't hear me. I ain't fucking with that black box, that shit ain't fixed the issue. And look, baby, I'm proud, but we need more than a bigger picture. Keisha trying to stop her from selling waters, but see, her sons and her daughters ain't gotta worry about poverty. Man, I fuck with how them young niggas be mobbing me, stopping me, arguing about who gon' get this dollar. Buy for me, buy for me. She rather them pull up and put a Glock to me. But then I look at politics and think, damn, probably. Cause prison got their policies, man, ain't 100% against it. It's some real shit on my conscience, nigga, listen. See, they been playing y'all with this corona shit. Mask on, mandatory compliance, this shit ain't no democracy. Nigga, mask off. I try to tell my people they gon' pull this shit. I wanna point out that more niggas been dying from bullets than corona. They ain't call the military for the AIDS or the crack era. It's crazy. For what I say, I'll be labeled a black terrorist. George Floyd really died in vain, and it's a shame. People spoke out to secure their place in fame. This shit a game to y'all. Y'all said Socoria name for a week. Atlanta rappers ain't even posted. She was slain in your streets. People trying to say I need protection. My name is some heat. Phase, you gotta watch the shit you say, man. It's dangerous. Don't think I'm really finna shut my mouth when niggas who famous won't speak. People with the platform don't stand up for change and don't teach. But see, Tekashi had to go. He had you too distracted. And I know you see what my legions do to you dudes in traffic. I heard y'all had a hit out for me. I ain't moving past it. I'm doing magic with music until you fools in caskets. You dealing with a different type of being. That's why you look into my eyes and don't know what you seeing. Is he in love? Is he at war? What if I said it's both? Truth is yours, but if I don't speak, then you will never know. Rappers ain't gonna tell you, folk. That's gonna stop their dollars. So what the fuck they gonna tell you, folk? Wanna be successful in this music? Gotta sell your soul or stick to the mission. Be ready when they shut you out. Lucky for me, money was something I don't give a fuck about. I gotta be careful, can't let the evil of the money trap me. So when you see me, nigga, you better holler at me.